Hi, thank you for coming. I'm Linda Howe, and this is Live with Linda, Tuesdays, 1 o'clock Central, and here we are. It's really what good fortune, right? For all of us, especially me. I feel like, oh my God, I'm so blessed. And I know that's a corny thing to say, but boy, I really feel very blessed today that we could be together um, in the midst of this, whatever the heck we're in. Okay, so Jean is with us. Ian McDougall. Hey, Ian, nice to see you. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Oh, good. Oh, look at all those. God, I love those emojis. Tawana Miller. All right, cool. Hey, Tawana, thank you for joining us. So, listen, everybody, I have things I want to talk about. I want to know if you have questions today. Now, listen, good. Calliope is with us. Terrific. Thank you. Now, listen, somebody signed on in Chinese, and you know what? I don't know Chinese. I love China, but I don't know Chinese. So, whoever you are, my darling, with your name in Chinese, let me know, okay? God, it's nice to see you guys. Oh, Barbie. Oh, Barbie from Ireland. All right. Valerie Ursini is with us today. Terrific. Kevin, nice to see you, Kevin. And Bobby, terrific. Judith, thank you so much for joining us. Gosh, so listen, you guys, I am, of course, thrilled, right? Of course I'm thrilled. Why wouldn't I be thrilled? This is, I think of all the times in history we could be under, stay-at-home orders. And here we are for this one, right? So, Jim Bailey, terrific, from Colorado. Hey, you know what, Jim? I'm going to be in Colorado sometime, I think in September, right? Okay. Hassan, good. Sona is with us. Terrific. Grand Prairie. Josephine, nice to have you, Josephine. Purnima, nice. Vicki Larson. All right, my lucky day. Bev Leachman, terrific. Helen, hi, Helen. Darling Helen is with us. Good. Heidi, Denise from Los Angeles. Woohoo! God, I bet it's sunny there. Belinda Ferguson is also with us. So listen, I could just sit here and say your names, and it's a funny thing. How about the hair, right? Anyway, but it's a funny thing because when I see your names, I'm like, oh my God, it's you. I'm so excited. That I'm excited that we could be here. So anyway, listen, this is a great time. It's a great opportunity, and I want to. Oh, Velva, hi, sweetie. Melissa Little is here from New York. Good. Linda from Edmonton. God, I love that Edmonton. Okay. Oh, Lee Lopez from Argentina. Thank you. Thank you so much. So listen. Um, we are all here, right? We're here on the planet. Uh, I know we all have our personal reasons, right? We all have our personal destiny that we're living, right? But we're also here for a greater destiny. And as well as I do, that it is no accident we're here for this profound transformation in human consciousness that has been really triggered. This coronavirus, this is a nasty rascal, as we all know. It's terrible. At the human level, this is about as bad as it gets. It's pretty terrible. But it is giving us more spiritual opportunities than I think many of us could ever have anticipated. And that's really our focus in our time together today. I've been getting so many questions from people that some of them are like heartbreaking to me because the questions are things like, why is this happening? What did we do to cause this? Who are the people who caused this, and how do we get rid of them? Good question. No, I mean it's human nature, right? We're all freaked out, and then we have questions like, why is God doing this? Why is God doing this to us? What did we do that was so terrible? I have to tell you, when I get this question, it breaks my heart. And what breaks my heart are the assumptions. First of all, the question, why is God doing this to us? Why is God allowing, right? Why is God having all these innocent people die? Right? That's the question. And of course, at the human level, the tragedy is immense. I don't even think we can keep track of the tragedy, right? Um, but it's real. Oh, from Tomahawk, right? So here's the thing. We want to look at the assumptions behind the question, right? Why is this happening? And why is God doing this to us? Okay. Before I go into it, though, I do want to welcome. I know there's some watch groups, right, who are joining us who don't. I can't respond to your Facebook. I don't see your names and stuff when you're in these groups. But I do want to thank you for gathering with your friends. I think there's really, for me, there's nothing nearly as much fun as being on the spiritual path with like-minded people. And so I want to acknowledge you for getting together with your friends and for sharing this time in a way that, let's hope, well, actually, my guidance is that we have the potential to make a huge difference for ourselves and for the people we love. So with that in mind, we can move on to this question. Why? The $50 million question. All right. First, let's look at the question itself. Why is this happening, right? And why is God having all these innocent people die? So there's a couple problems with that, okay? The biggest problem for me is that there's an assumption that there is some force, maybe it's a supreme being, right, who is pulling the strings on this, kind of like the big, I don't know, the great overseer of the universe, who is not very nice. Okay. So what I know about God, I mean, the God force, the God presence, the ultimate reality, is that this is in the nature of love. And there is no being, right? There is no being, no ultimate supreme being in any universe that is made of love that could be that mean. Okay. So if you have, and listen, I know this because I've done it myself. I was raised on a God who was pretty mean, a very punitive son of a gun, and he was a scorekeeper, right? He was keeping track of all the good deeds, the bad deeds, kind of. I thought if I lived life right, I would zero out at the end and this God would have mercy on me. I was terrified. Thank goodness. As as I've grown and as I've been on the path, I have come to understand that there's no God in any universe made of love that is that mean. Okay, that's all there is to it. And if you have a God that is such a spiteful son of a gun, fire him, right? We have choices. We have choices in our beliefs. We have choices in the God of our understanding. And this is the time to really grab hold of that. It is a sacred, sacred choice. It is a treasured opportunity that is for us all. This is why we came to the planet at this time, right? Oh, Jessica from Walnut Creek. Yes. Karina from Denmark. Okay. Marisa from Mexico. Nice to see you guys. So the first thing we want to look at is there's no God anywhere doing this to us. Okay, but we do feel persecuted, right? Many of us feel persecuted, we feel punished. And the question behind that is, why, right? Why do you deserve punishment? The truth is you don't. None of us do. Nobody has done anything wrong. Now listen, I know there's a lot of bad behavior out there. And I know, listen, I live in the United States. Our government is just like a nut house right now. I mean, we are see, one of the great benefits of this horrific pandemic is that we are seeing the fault lines. We are seeing the flaws in our own old ideas. Like here in the States, we have government officials who are making money on drugs that don't even work, right? I mean, it's like the president of the United States, God help us. I mean, this guy, we see capitalism, right? It's an economic system. That's all it is, right? We are seeing the flaws in capitalism. We are seeing what happens when the people in governments are in their heart of hearts self-serving capitalists, and everything is designed for profit. They have, I mean, the things that are happening here are unspeakable. They are just, first of all, they're hair-raising and terrifying. But we get to see this is what happens. This is what happens when we make choices for governments, for economic systems, for religions, right? For all these old ideas that have come in a time of crisis and need, cause great harm to us. What we have, though, is the opportunity to make other choices, right? To choose again. Good. Joanna's here from Mississippi. Thank you. Oh, hey, Tina. Tina, nice to see you. We've got Ramona and Pat and Marjorie, Christina. Oh, Christina, hi, sweetie. Marcia, Wilda, cool. Julie's with us, Doreen, wonderful. So we want to take responsibility, and that's not blame, right? Blame. You know, sometimes I joke around and I say, I'm going to do a workshop called Who Can I Blame? We're going to have to get a football stadium, right? Because blame is so easy. I mean, it's the default of your average 5-year-old. But our challenge is, as people who are on the path of spiritual maturity, we have to take responsibility, okay? And the responsibility is, what have I believed? What is the most, right? What have I believed? What have I thought would be best? You know, we have real challenges here. We have people in government who have strong religious ideas that say they're pro-life as people are dying, and they refuse to get the medical attention. I don't know, it's confusing, isn't it? Very confusing. So I go into the records, right, the Akashic record, and I ask the question, what the heck? Or some version of that. Now listen, what I love about the Akashic record is that it's okay to be real, right? I'm like, I do not understand this. And here's what I learned, okay? I learned that from a record standpoint, okay, everything that happens is ultimately for our good. Now, I'm not saying it's good like, take this bad medicine, it's good for you. No. It's good for you to suffer. No. But it's like there is some good in this value, positive value for each one of us personally. Now, what's curious to me, and I hate to admit it, but it's true, is that the end of last year, I was very tired. I had been traveling quite a bit. I had 24 trips to Asia in 4 years. I was tired, right? And I didn't even know what day it was, but that was all right. And so I was really like, I know I need a break. How can I get a break? Well, lo and behold, we get this virus. Is the virus terrible? Yes. Is there some personal benefit for me? Yes, there is. Okay. And I have to accept that for myself. Like, this is an opportunity like none other. You know, I love to be home. I love to travel. I love to be home. Is this challenging? You bet it is. But the thing is, right now, I get to be home. And that means a lot to me. And I get to finish some projects that I've been working on really for a few years, right? So I'm finishing up my book, and I mean, a lot of wonderful things are happening. Is the virus terrible? Yes. Do I like being on shelter in place? No. Do I like wearing a mask? No. You know, I don't like any of it. But I see that there's some real pearls in this for me, and I am grateful for those. So we want to begin to be grateful for whatever, like, I don't want to say, oh, isn't it great there's a virus? No, no, the universe doesn't like nonsense, right? Doesn't like bull. The universe likes the truth. So the universe appreciates it when we say, this is a terrible situation. And there's this one thing happening in my life personally that is good. And we appreciate it and we give thanks for it, right? So the other thing is this, okay? So we have our personal benefit. How is this good for me personally? It's a personal question you want to ask yourself. The other question, or the other idea is this. From an Akashic perspective, the soul's journey is human. The purpose of the soul's journey as human is to grow into the experience of unconditional love for the self, for others, for all of creation. Now, the word unconditional is a very powerful word. It's a very big word, right? It's demanding, it's commanding, it's many things, right? It's not easy. Simple word, not so easy. Unconditional means in any and all circumstances. So the questions we can ask ourselves, the questions I'm asking myself, can I love myself even though I do not have the cure for this virus? Can I treat myself with kindness and respect even though I am confused, even though I am unable to redirect the efforts of the government leaders in my country, right? These are the real questions, right? How do I love myself even though this terrible unfolding is occurring? It's occurring around me. It's in my community. It's in your community. It's everywhere, okay? And if we are talking about unconditional love, right? How do I love myself even when the people in my government, when I feel that they don't represent me, right? They're not acting on my personal behalf, right? They're not telling my truth, right? Can I love myself anyway? Okay, the question is not, do I love them? I don't have to worry about them. All the love that's in me is also in them, right? Okay, because the truth is, I cannot love you or any other until I have some sense of love, appreciation, and respect for myself as is. Okay, now I don't know about you guys, but I've got a real thing. Victimization. I don't like it. I don't like it. Listen, I mean, obviously, I grew up here in America. I was here for the revolution a long time ago. Now I'm here for this revolution, right? First we had the external revolution. Now we're having the internal revolution. It's terrific. But the thing is, I was raised, like in my age group, in my consciousness was like, oh, to be a victim is a bad thing, right? Like it's a judgment, right? Looking down on victims, thinking victims are stinky and they're ruining everything and, getting mad at them. But what I learned in the records is people have been victims since the beginning of time. It's a very old story. And the negative judgment against victims, right? Whatever they're victims of, right? Victims of poverty and justice. I mean, a lot of ways to be a victim, let's face it, right? But the judgment against a victim is not helpful, okay? What is helpful is respect. And so I have to look inside myself. Can I extend kindness and respect to myself, even though I too have been a victim, right? Even though I have been unable to redirect the forces of, I don't know, medicine, government, you name it, right? Economies, religions, we're going to go on from there. And these are the questions we have, and these are the questions that will enable us to really, I want to say, make the most of the terrible situation. Is it terrible? Yes, it's really terrible. Gosh. So anyway, So these are some of the things. We are not asked to like this. We are not asked to pretend that it's cool, because it's not. It is terrible. However, we are light workers, right? We are people who, our job is to seek and find the light in the least likely places. I mean, any nitwit can find the obvious light. Our job is to look right in times like this, when it's like, where is it? I know it's there somewhere, right? And so we look for it. We seek and we find the light. This is our job. And we have, I have a friend, my friend Jean says to me, she says, well, Linda, we chose to be here for this. And she is right. Oh, it gets to me, but it's true. At some level, you and I all elected to be here for this, right? To be the presence of kindness, respect, dignity at a time where all the old ideas are crashing. I mean, they are going to the dogs, right? And we don't know what's happening. We really don't. I have to tell you, as an American, I go into a grocery store and I find empty shelves. I am personally offended. And then I have a big laugh at myself because, what the heck? 'Cause sometimes it's like that. Anyway, gosh, here, oh my heavens. All right. So this is what I've been thinking about, right? It's what I've been thinking about. It's what I've had a lot of questions about, and I thought it was really important that we talk about it. So that's that. I'm looking to see, do you guys have any, Portugal. God, I was thinking about Portugal. Oh, yes, but God does have a sense of humor. And Sydney, Australia, cool. This is all really good. God, it's nice to, okay, now, I'm wondering if you guys have any questions, right? Oh, Louisiana, cool. All right, Corey. I don't know, I felt like I saw, okay. Andrea Hurley is asking a question. Andrea, hi, sweetie, where are you? Here, let's see, we've got Andrea. I'm going to give her a little heart. So Andrea is asking a terrific, how do you hone your intuitive discernment? I'll tell you what, listen, I'm down with intuition, love intuition, but my work is really in the records. And what I know is that by working in the records, what happens, it's almost like the light, Akashic light, gets underneath your intuition and improves it naturally. Okay, so the best way that I know to improve your intuition is to work in the Akashic records using the pathway prayer process. Now, what's interesting, in my first book, which is, hi, Randy Lynn, in my first book, which is How to Read the Akashic Records, which actually is going to be coming out on Audible, going to be me reading the book, probably by the end of April. But in that book, I've got a whole exercise, right? How to make the distinction between working in your records and your intuition, right? And it's really, I find it so helpful because it is confusing, right? It can be very confusing. And the distinction really, the intuition is held within the record. Okay, so we want to understand it that way. It's held within the record, and the biggest difference between the two is scope, right? So intuition from an energetic standpoint, right? It's like if I'm standing underneath a spotlight, right? It's a very specific beam of light, right? From the divine, right, into our awareness, right? Through us, as us, right? Giving us guidance, perspective, yes, but it's one beam of light. The Akashic record is like standing in a field of light. Do you see? And within that field of light is, of course, the beam that is your intuition. So that ought to give you something to think about and to tinker around with. Okay, so cool. Cool, cool. Oh, hey, Mick. Good to see you. And nice to see you guys. And Tina is with us. Awesome. Yes, Audible. And you know what else I'm going to have coming out? I don't know exactly the date, but probably around the 1st of May, early May. Okay, let's be safe. Everything's taking so much longer. But collections of guided practices that I've developed over the last, I've been working in the records since 1994 and teaching since 96. And along the way, I've got like file cabinets of guided practices that have been revealed to me through my work. And so I'm really, really excited that I'm going to be able to share them with you. So those are coming up. So I think that, what else do I want to tell you? You know what else I want you to know is that I think it's 2 weeks from today. Yeah, April 21st. I'm going to begin this year I'm doing one live online certification class, which is the healing through the Akashic records. Okay, and it is required for the teacher training, which I'll be doing in Chicago in 2021. Okay, provided, and it's going to be in person, right? Which will be very cool. It's a 6-day training, but anyway, first things first. August 21st, it's a 8-session series, 16 hours of class, plus weekend homework clubs if you want them, closed Facebook group if you want them. I have a team of my elite certified teachers who will be helping. It's going to be really, really fun. So if you have a chance, gosh, I hope you can join us. I'm really excited about it. Anyway, and we'll be working with some of these principles, right? Some of the Akashic assumptions that will support a new perspective that give us a way to transform our relationship with some of the wounding life experiences. Sometimes people say, oh, how can I take that out of my records? Well, you really can't. What's happened has happened. It really has. But listen, if they hit you with the frying pan, they hit you with the frying pan. It's just, but see, and you've been impacted by it. But what we want to do is transform our relationship with our injuries. So instead of taking the wounds of our past, right? And historically, what we've done is we've said, oh my God, this is evidence that I'm unworthy, that I'm terrible, that I deserve nothing, whatever. I mean, we make up all kinds of stuff. We have to make sense. We're human beings. We like to make sense out of things, right? But what happens in the class is we learn how to take these very same injuries and transform our relationship to them, transform our understanding of them, so that instead of being weapons against us, what happens is they become portals for our personal power, peace of mind, and participation in the world. Very, very cool. So great. Oh, you guys know Justin and Kamal know each other. Cool. Tatiana's here. Great. Thanks, Christina. All right. So, wait, Natasha has, let's see, the idea, everything is happening is out of love and for the greater good. Doing my best not to fear. Ah, ha, ha. God, isn't it great? So Natasha is talking to us. She's on the front lines. Holy smokes. Okay, so listen, my hat's off to you. Okay, that is tremendous. I also want to say a special thank you to people all over the world who are working in the grocery stores, right? Who are working at the pharmacies. The people who are, I have to tell you something. Yesterday, my kitchen sink, I love my kitchen sink. My kitchen sink went ballistic, right? And it was backfiring. It was very unattractive. Anyway, so I had to call a plumber. I cannot tell you how I was more grateful than ever that there was a plumber. There are people driving buses and mass transit, even though so many trains and buses are really pretty empty right now. There are people who are delivering food. I thank you all, because it really takes all of us working together to find our way through this and to be as comfortable as possible at a time that is so unbelievably awful. I don't know, I keep lowering my expectations. I'm like, oh, this is bad. Anyway, so I just a real thank you to everybody who's doing more than their part. It's really, you really are making a difference, even if you're not so sure about it, you really are. Because if you don't go to work, then the rest of us are pretty much in trouble. So Natasha was talking about that everything is for the greater good. Yes, and what we want to do, it's a very interesting idea, isn't it, Natasha? What we want to do is, we understand at some level, right? It's good for the cosmic oneness and humanity and the people out there. Okay, that's okay. That's kind of, we get that. But what we want to do to anchor it in this dimension is make it personal. So we ask the question, how is this beneficial for me? And now I'll tell you, that is a turbocharged healing question. You want to really transform your healing experience of things. Ask the question, how does this benefit me personally? Because when it's personal, it anchors into our heart and we begin to see things differently. And it's, that's where transformation lives. Transformation doesn't live out there, it lives within us, yeah? So we want to be seeing like, God, how is this beneficial for me? And I know some of you, especially like Natasha, you really are medical care people. To be able to give service in that way is tremendous. It is a tremendous thing. And fear, you want to be, of course you're afraid. Listen, we're just people. Of course you're going to be afraid. People are afraid who are on the front lines. People are afraid. Do you know, I read in the paper there was somebody in the Chicago area who killed himself and his wife because he was afraid of this virus. Do not underestimate the power of fear. Fear is really nasty stuff. Okay. Oh, Margaret O'Reilly. Huh, cool. Oh, Marjorie, your nephews are plumbers. I got to tell you, I love plumbers. Anyway, what's not to love? Okay. You're feeling a lot of love. Okay. Yes, there is a greater, so Emma, there is a greater power controlling not only your mind, but your heart. And the greater power is love. And it's already in there. Oh, Vonda's with us. Cool. All right. So there you have it. Okay. So the more we can personalize this, right? And listen, don't be worried about, the worst thing about fear is when we try to pretend we don't have it. Okay. And so, because then, the law is, right? One of the laws of the universe is that which you resist persists. So when we are afraid, if we pretend we're not, if we deny our fear, it gets worse. So, and then it goes underground and we start doing crazy things, right? It is better to sit with yourself and say, oh, honey, I know, of course you're afraid. This is frightening, right? Especially since nobody knows what they're doing, right? It's not like there's any great global leadership that knows what they're doing, except for, I think, New Zealand, they might know. New Zealand, they're pretty cool. Okay. Cool. Oh, Amy Mack is with us. Hey, Amy. Oh, good. And Julie wants to know, Julie, what is your question here, sweetie? What it's like to be a teacher? Oh my God. So one of the things about being a certified teacher of the pathway prayer process is that then you can share with others in a way that's really empowering to them. It's really, I find it tremendous. I find it one of the greatest joys of my life is working with people because, see, here's the thing. We live in a time of great spiritual awakening and awareness. You guys all know that, right? What we're a little shy on is solid training, right? And in order to be effective, you want to have the best training that you can get. All right. Now, so if you come, you take classes, you take, I have 5 core classes that are required, and then you come and you do the training. Then you can teach the beginning and advanced practitioners classes, right? And then each level up, you come for another, like 5 days or something, and you take subsequent trainings. So for like healing, teach healing, and then to teach discover your soul's path, to be elite certified teachers, right? And as you go along, you develop your own practice. First, of course, you want to have a practice of doing readings with people, right? That's where the work really lives. It's one soul meeting with another soul, and really seeing other people, right? As a practitioner, what you have the opportunity to do is to recognize another human being in the light of truth, to really see them for the loving people that they are, right? We begin to see others and their circumstances through the lens, the Akashic Lens, which is the lens of unconditional love. It's a spiritual resource, yeah? So that's how it is. So we work to develop our practice of doing readings for people. And then what we naturally find, as I found in my own work, was I thought, why am I doing readings for all these people? I should be able to do them. Why not? Right? And then, then I started teaching people. Okay, I've been teaching people in the record since 1996, which I hate to admit is such a long time. Oh, somebody here knows Amy Mack. Okay, Marguerite is feeding her family. Cool. You could be so listen, with training, you can teach. The thing is, you don't want to teach people what you don't know. I mean, that's the law of the universe. You can't give away what you don't have. And so first of all, we want to get you trained, and you need to understand in yourself, like, wow, this is really valuable for me. And then you can transmit it to others. Okay, Julie loves doing readings. I love doing readings too. I love doing readings. Readings are great. Oh, Mr. Bill Washington is with us. Cool. Great. Good. And here's Michelle. Nice to see you, Michelle. For so many to awaken. So the thing is, Barbara's here from Vegas. All right. So here's the thing. We are here now. Are we here for others? Yes, we're here for others. But we're also here for ourselves. Okay? And this is what's very powerful about the time in which we're living is this. That the age of it is a time in history where our relationship to service is being transformed. Okay, and we are beginning to understand, like we haven't in prior ages, that in order to give to others, we must have experience within ourselves. And so, like, my growth and transformation is required for me to give you anything. Your growth and transformation are required so that you can be as effective to make the contribution to the lives of others that's really in your heart to do. So that's what's very interesting about this time. So don't underestimate your own growth and development. Sometimes it seems like, oh, I should ignore that. I should put it to the side. Listen, I'm from a big family. I'm second of 8. And I was really raised like, oh, quit thinking. You don't think about yourself. You're going to be fine. Just think about, the rest. Think about the little kids, right? And then everything will be fine. And then, of course, all the little kids grew up and they didn't need me anymore. And I was heartbroken. Anyway, and I found out I had to take care of myself first. Or not first, but also, right? It's also, it's not either or, it's and. It's me and you, right? And us together. And that's where this is. Awakening is a whole human job. It is an incredible job, isn't it? Marguerite, I love you too. I wonder what you're feeding those kids. All right, cool. Now listen. Oh, from Barcelona. Ah, hello. Hey, how's everything in Barcelona? I hear you guys. I hear it's been a little tricky. Well, it's tricky everywhere right now. So I wonder, does anybody else have any questions? No? All right. So listen, here's the thing. What we want to do, okay, in order to anchor in the transformation that you have, right, in your own awareness, you want to think to yourself, how am I growing because of this? What are the blessings for me personally? And as you become aware of those and really make note, okay, not like vague, like, oh, it's all a blessing. We know it's all a blessing. No shortcuts here, right? We want to say, this is the way it's a blessing for me. Okay. It's a blessing for me, Linda, because I get to stay home. And I love to stay home, right? It's a blessing for me because I've had a chance to get some much needed rest. It's a blessing for me because I've had a chance to finish my book, right? So there are ways in which this has been a real blessing for me. And I am so grateful, right? And I know it's been a blessing for you as we recognize the ways in which this most unfortunate and terribly awful, truly awful, right, illness is changing our lives, right? And the ways in which it's better. I have to say too, I've seen these, what do you call it? These videos, yeah, where in Venice, Italy, that there are fish in the canals, right? There are fish in those canals. Those canals have been dirty as heck, and I don't think anything was living in them, right? But because of the change in the way we're all living, right? Parts of the earth itself are being revived. And there are parts within you and I that are being revived as well. Okay, so we're really asked to navigate a paradox. On one hand, the situation is really awful. And on the other hand, there are treasures to be mined for each and every one of us. And as we mine those treasures, we will find our way into greater peace and harmony within ourselves and with one another. Okay, there are no, oh, Carla, sweetheart, if no special abilities, you know what? This is Calliope. I love your question. God, that's a good question. There are no special abilities, and it's interesting working in the Akashic record, it's not psychic. So you don't have to be psychic, you don't have to be clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, all those things. Are they fun? Yes, that's all great. You don't need any of it. You have to be a human being who has strong feelings of compassion for yourself and others. That's all you really need, right? Because working in the record is about shining the light of truth on all the treasures you have been accumulating throughout your many, many, many incarnations, right? It's about growing into unconditional love. That means no judgment, no harshness, no unnecessary criticism, yeah, for yourself and for other people. It's learning how to respect and appreciate who you are as you are respected and appreciated by life. The truth is that life loves us, right? Life loves you, life loves me, just the way we are. And what I think is particularly, it just breaks my heart when I think of it, is that none of us are held to impossible standards, right? You can be you, I can be me. We don't have to be perfect. And yet, life will give us countless chances to extend kindness and understanding to ourselves and others. okay? That life does not say, oh, sit on the bench, right, until you get it together. Life doesn't say that. Life says, listen, I know, I know you're not, you got some flaws there, but listen, we need you anyway. Okay. And that to me, wow, when I think of that, when I think of all the wonderful contributions throughout history made by people who are a little bit wacky, you know, and I like to look at, I like to look at their hairdos. So we look at people like Albert Einstein. He had bad hair. And you know what? He did great things. Who knew? Who knew? Anyway, so listen. Oh, cool. Oh, Lannister, thank you, darling. And Michelle, you're doing reading. Yes, doing readings will change your life. It will change your life. It changed mine. So enjoy it though. All right, enjoy it. Hey, listen, this is all for today. I love you. Come back anytime. Listen, we'll be here next week, 1 o'clock Central. Okay, and then I'm going to be off for a couple weeks because I'll be teaching, but I will be here next week. So come next week, all right? And I'll see you, and I'll see you guys on Facebook. You can find me lindahowe.com. If you have questions about any classes I'm teaching, just ask, right? I'm happy to help you. That's why I'm here. I love you, and I cannot imagine having better traveling companions at a time when life is just one jumbo question mark and confusion is rampant. I am just delighted that we could find our way together. So I thank you, I love you, and I'll see you all soon.